Good morning, welcome everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy and today I'm going to be giving you a prediction reading for the 24th of October. Now, we've been talking here in the last couple of days about changing and coming up with a name. Instead of conspiracy theorists, we've come up with an idea to create a new name so that I can talk about us moving forward, not as conspiracy theorists, but I know. Hello, you suggested one, conspiracy realists. I've got a few too, truth tellers. We've got a lot of ideas, I'm sure, out there. So keep posting those down below, guys, and we'll come up with a new name for us conspiracy theorists because as we all know here, these things are coming to fruition. So they're not really conspiracies anymore, are they? Now, I'm going to close my eyes. We'll get started and we'll see what comes up. If you are new, please subscribe, hit the like buttons, guys, and comment down below, like I said, and have your input as well. What else was I going to say today? Oh, and just to let you guys know what's happening here in Australia. Yes, continued flooding. Lismore, the town that has been flooded twice this year, is up north in New South Wales where I live. It's about to flood again. Lots of places in Victoria are currently flooded. There is a massive amount of flooding going on. I don't know how these people are getting through it. It must be so heartbreaking and disheartening, and like they're mega floods. So that's what's happening here in Australia. Still got rain here today. Not much spring sunshine, unfortunately. I know a lot of you guys that watch my channel are in autumn, so enjoy that while you can before winter comes, because you may not have your heaters on over there. I know what's getting pushed in those areas. Reduce those, you know, cut back the power. Yes. Oh, God. Hope you've all got log fires, although you'll probably get in trouble if you use them as well. Oh, the world's getting crazy, honestly. All right, enough of me gibbering. Let's get started and we'll see what comes up. God, I'm getting Germany is rising. Germany standing up. Now, what you got to remember, guys, we don't get to see most of all this because it's getting shoved down the algorithms. So you'd have to do a big tap search for it to start to feed back into your feeds. So maybe we can all go and start tapping in protests and see what comes up, because I'm guessing there's not going to be much. If anyone finds anything, let us all know here, because, or if you're living there, let us know, because we pretty much ain't seeing it and we know it's not on mainstream media. So I'm getting Germany, big rises there, because at the moment they're having big takeovers. I kept talking about that the other day, about this like men in black energy, people coming in and like taking over. Well, that's what I'm kind of still getting for Germany and a few other regions as well. But I do get Poland, France. We know they're having takeovers. All right, let's see where else we go today. Oh, God. They're showing me, Martin, you'll relate to this. They're showing me climate change is starting to bore people. It's starting to... See, even saying that made me yawn then. I'm hoping it made all you guys yawn too. Climate change is starting to bore people. It's showing me people yawning. Because it's like, oh, God, not this again. And I guess this is around everything to do with climate change. It is getting shoved in everyone. This is globally. It's getting shoved in everyone's faces to the point that, which is a good thing, people are switching off because they're tired of it. They're tired of hearing about it. They're tired of having it shoved in their face. They don't know what's truths or not now. So people are getting bored. It's depleting people's energy. Every second day there's a big protest. We know they've been throwing the orange paint onto things and buildings, and there's been only like 5 or 6 protesters though at every one of these things, which is kind of very strange. We do question a lot here on my channel, don't we? So I'm getting that. People are getting bored of the climate change agenda and narrative. And that's a good thing, because that might cause people to wake up. Speaking of yawning, that's what people are feeling. They're exhausted from this because it's getting repetitive now. It's kind of, yeah, we get it. All right, enough. This is what people are feeling. This is what they're thinking when it comes on TV or it's in the media or whatever. People are like switching off from it. Yeah, that's what we need them to switch off and go in another direction. Because they're just sick of it. People are sick of hearing about climate change. And anyone, if you guys watch Carl Vernon out there, he's so funny to watch his live videos. He just says like, oh yes, it's climate change. Or Putin! He blames Putin as well for everything. He's so funny, Carl Vernon. You got to go and watch him. But this is what people are sick of. They're sick of climate change. It's like climate change is used for everything now. Like everything. We have to do the renewables because of climate change. We've got a food shortage because of climate change. We've got this because of climate change. Reduce your emissions because of climate change. Everything's just climate change. And people are bored. They're sick of hearing about it. Let's see where else we go. I told you about those netballers yesterday, those Aussie netballers who were fighting back against Gina Reinhart, the mining magnate. She's absolutely so wealthy, and she donated all this money to them, but because they were carrying on about climate change and renewables and all this stuff again. So she withdrew it. So now they're without funding again. This is how crazy the world's getting, isn't it? It's getting insane. It really is. And of course, a big argument was on TV this morning about should sporting people have their political views, like should politics be brought into sport. And I guess we could say that about the royals as well, couldn't we, with Charles going down the political road now. But this is what's happening. It's like total madness, isn't it? Annette, you just posted one. I'm a bullshit detector. I love it. Thanks, Annette. That's brilliant, guys. You're coming up with some very good names. I like that one. I'm bullshit detector. Beep, 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 beep. Bullshit. I love it. It's great. Oh, thanks for posting that, Annette. You're making me laugh. You people make me laugh out there, I have to say. I love that we have a laugh on this channel. I think it's really important because it's such serious crap that we're dealing with. It's just so important that we be able to navigate it in a light-hearted and funny way. I do like the bullshit detector. Keep your votes coming in, guys, which ones you want. And if you got any new ones, bring them as well. I'll do that at the end of the week. I'll let you guys put them in. And where are we today? It's only Monday today. So on Friday, I'll come back and we'll do our vote during the week. And I'll come up on Friday with the one that it is. Oh, bullshit detector could be in the running, that's for sure. Oh, I love it. That's great. All right, let's see where else we go. God, now I'm getting, yesterday I talked about people's emotions were rising to the surface now. It's those sadness and melancholy kind of emotions now. I think a lot of these people waking up have kind of moving through their anger. We've talked about a lot of anger. Even Klaus Schwab talked about people were going to get angry. Of course they are, when you're ruining and squashing their lives and taking them down to nothing. What did he expect would happen? However, I feel like a lot of these people, these pain bodies, are moving through their anger and now they're getting into that real emotional trauma. That's what it's showing me. It's showing me like people, this is not us if you're watching my channel, they're showing me that people waking up are sitting on the ground with their heads sunk. They're hitting that all-time low energy. And this could be around many things. This could be around, you know, obviously financially, but to me it's also oh no, it's around realizing the conspiracies are coming true and coming to fruition, which is a major one for them because they didn't want it to be true, but unfortunately it's all unfolding before their very eyes, and you can't, you know, it's like us, you can't unsee what you have seen. So they're going through that now, that real waking up process. There's a lot going on for these people, so that's why we're getting that emotional breakdown now of the soul for a lot of these people waking up. They're having to emotionally face things, I guess you would say. And also we talk about that a lot too, grieving their old life, because their old lives are gone. We know their old lives are gone. We knew their old lives were going to be gone 3 years ago when we stood up and fought for freedom, the Braveheart freedom fighters. We knew, we could see that was coming. So that's what I'm getting. I'm getting that sort of broken down people feel downtrodden, and they're feeling helpless. There's this real feeling of, not us, this is for the people waking up, they're feeling very helpless at the moment, like what direction to take. And like I keep saying to you guys out there, a lot of these people don't know how to fight back. They're not like us. We have this natural instinct, and we knew how to stand up, get our flags, you know, woo, get together with like kind. Look at us, we've all found each other here on my channel. We've connected with people who think and feel the same. But these people, now they're starting to feel isolated in their madness. Like I said to you here, there's been a lot of weird things going on. A friend of mine that I told you the other day had sent me health orders and all this kind of stuff, has now got that semi-cerebral palsy, that Bell's palsy, face paralysis. She would be boosted. I know this is happening globally. We knew it was going to happen. We knew these were trial jabs, but nobody listened to us. So we had to take that step back for our own health and remove ourselves from being attacked by these people. Look, these are sad situations. I'm not sharing that with you just to well, it sort of highlights things, doesn't it? But this is a very common thing that's starting to go on. But people, the sad thing and the really tragic thing is that these people as well won't talk about it because they're scared of being vilified, ostracized, saying they had a side effect to something. You know, this is the crap they're dealing with now because they know what the truths are. They're experiencing their own truths. It's like when I did that video with Karma with Karen, my sister. If anyone wants to go and check that out, I did it probably about 10 videos or something ago, where I interviewed my sister. She's really good at understanding how karma works. People have their own life lessons, and that's kind of what karma really is. It's about, well, what you may not understand now, you may understand one day, even if it's in a different form. So, you know, we don't put that out there. We just let things go. So we cut the ties and we move on. So that's what I'm getting. I'm getting this energy of what do they do now? That's what a lot of these people waking up are in, that energy. What do I do now? Let's see what else we get today. God, I'm getting this detective energy again. Maybe that's because of the bullshit detectors. Oh my God. I'm getting this detective energy again, which is like the Sherlock Holmes. We've had that before, where he's looking through the magnifying glass and he's assessing all the information. That's us. We're still doing our detective work. I do believe that we do. We can't help ourselves. It's just something in us, isn't it? We just can't help it. The thing is, you can't switch off from this because it's such a huge part of our journey, isn't it? So we're still doing our detective work. I feel like we still do a lot of detective work. Like I said, we're trying to find out who's protesting, what's going on in the world, because we don't see it on mainstream media. So we have to do our detective work to sort of know what's happening. Even chatting here together and reading each other's comments and things, we find out what's happening globally. So I'm getting this Sherlock Holmes, like we're starting to look again for what's coming. So that's what I'm getting. We know there's a lot more in this agenda than meets the eye. And we know there's a lot more that they're going to roll out. We're not even sure sometimes what some of these things are. I mean, we know, gosh, I do even question, seriously, I do even question the whole British Prime Minister event. We sort of do have to look at what's sort of gone down there. It's very strange. When Liz Truss got in, and I did say that yesterday, I always thought Sunak was going to get it, and it weirded me out when he didn't get it. I'm not saying he's still going to get it, because we never know what their games and what they're playing at. But you got to admit, it was just all a little bizarre, the whole thing. And this is where we do our bit of detective work, because she was in for like 5 minutes and then they just shoved her aside. So whether they are doing these little trials and seeing how the people react, and then they throw someone else into the mix, and then this is what it feels like to us, doesn't it? So that's why we do our bit of detective work and try and find out, you know, what's going on. We can't help ourselves. It's just who we are, isn't it? that's kind of how we navigate life. We feel something and then we have to look into it. That's the energy I'm getting for us. And the guides are saying like that's a healthy thing for us, because that's part of who we are. Because by sort of knowing things and being aware of things, it gives us relief in the body. We're not going into things with fear. And that's how we stay in that state of more openness and feeling more carefree and moving forward, because we don't hang on to these fears and worries. We actually investigate, see what's going on, and then we're prepared and we're ready to face things. So that's why we always do our detective Sherlock Holmes homework. Let me see if there's something else to close today. They're showing me, sometimes here I talk about the COVID agenda storybook, where someone in many years to come will be opening this storybook. It shows me this image of someone reading the COVID agenda story to their children, their grandchildren probably. And they're saying how, once upon a time there was this terrible disease that hit, but it was actually these big, mean, awful people who were trying to take over the world and poison people's minds. And it was just, this is the kind of image that I get. But I'm getting now there's like a new book. There's like a new book. And this is our book. And this is the story from our perspective. And it just keeps giving me the start of the book where it goes, in the beginning. Maybe we could call it the bullshit detector story. Oh my God, stop it. And I'm getting that, I'm just getting this big bit at the front of the book called In the Beginning. And this is a whole different book, but written from our perspective. And it's like in the beginning, and it's showing me like all these freedom marches, photos of all of us. The freedom marches, like people march with their flags and they stood up for what they felt was right. And it's got all this like positivity in it. And then a few chapters in, you've got, then they introduced mandates and people fought back to contain their jobs. And the world stood up and started to wake up. And it's like, it's almost like, I guess you could say it's the Book of Awakening. And then, people started to speak their truth. So you got the people who were vaccine injured, you got the doctors who were silenced by APRA. And it's this kind of new storybook, but we're telling the story. We're rewriting this story. And yesterday I got that Knights of the Round Table coming together and all of us coming together with like kind. Well, this is the rewriting of the storybook. And it's saying to me, in the beginning. So in the beginning, and it's showing me just the protests and the flags. And there's in this particular book, there's chapters on like the Ottawa trucker movement in Canada. There's global, there's pictures of global protests in New Zealand, in Germany, France, Sweden, all these places. And they've even included the Queen, a chapter on the Queen passing, and how then the changes came about in England. So we've got this big storybook that we're actually writing, and we're putting all this into a different perspective, because you've got to picture that our perspective of this journey in the last 3 years has been very, very different. So that's something else we could probably name our new storybook. The bullshit agenda, the bullshit detectives. We could come up with a few names for that as well if you want to. I think that would be funny, because the COVID agenda story is like, I'm guessing it's like one of these stories where it's like a scary story. It's like written by Stephen King or something like that, and it's all scary when you're reading it. That's the kind of thing, the COVID agenda story is like a scary book. But then we've rewritten this really great book, which is kind of like, they're showing me like the equivalent is like The Power of Now with Eckhart Tolle. We've written this book of positivity and how to learn and the Great Awakening and all these things. And that's the new book that we have contributed to and that we're creating now. Oh my God, two very different books, aren't they? Oh my goodness. I still feel this is the Great Awakening. I know it's hard to believe that, but I still get that energy all the time. And this is how we got to the Great Awakening. Like, this is what, in the beginning, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like leading you to the Great Awakening. That's the book that we're writing. Let me see if there's something else to close with today. Oh, it's the gods. Oh my God. They give us the cheesiest songs. Oh, I know you guys will remember this song. If you remember the George Michael and the Wham era of, they show me "Wake Me Up Before You Go Go." Remember that song? And we all wore the iridescent greens and the green writing, iridescent writing on everything, and the t-shirts by Wham and all this stuff. Well, that's the song. Wake me up before you go go. Oh my God. I'm not planning on dancing solo. Isn't that the song? So I guess that's what they're saying. We're not planning on dancing solo, that we're going to stay united and connected, and that's how we're going to keep moving our lives forward. So that's what I'm going to leave you with today. We always have a great song to finish off, don't we? So leave your comments down below. Let me know your suggestions for conspiracy theories. And also, if you want to contribute to the name of our book that we're writing moving forward. And oh, God, I will say goodbye from Australia. Hit the like buttons and subscribe, guys. And I'll talk to you very soon. Bye from down under. Bye, everybody. Bye.